In Europe, a woman is near death from cancer. One drug, a newly created form of radium, might save her though. Unfortunately, the druggist is charging $2,000 for its creation. The sick woman's husband, Heinz, goes to everyone he knows to borrow money, but he can only get together about half the cost. He tells the druggist that his wife is dying and begs him to sell the drug for cheaper, but the druggist says no. The husband eventually gets desperate and then breaks into the man's store to steal the drug for his wife. This scenario is actually well known as the Heinz dilemma. Now, although it is mainly used by psychologists while discussing moral development, it can also be a great supporting example of strain theory in criminology. According to a lecture by Dr. Peaksmees, strain theory always begins with an initial strain, which is typically a frustration about living in undesirable conditions such as being lower class and having a lack of education and/or money. This theory then goes on to state that there are 5 possible responses that people take to achieve their societal goals while dealing with these undesirable living conditions. These 5 responses are conformity, innovation, ritualism, retreatism, and rebellion, with conformity and innovation being the most prevalent of the 5. Conformity is when a person has goals in society and they also have the means to achieve said goals, resulting in no need for deviant behavior. Innovation, which is the response used in the example in the beginning, is when a person has goals in society but does not have the means to achieve them. Strain theory says that when somebody breaks the law, they are most likely acting in an innovation response. This is not always the case though, and my friends are a good example of this. Sometimes, while hanging out with them, I would notice that my friends would steal candy from gas stations or even the occasional shirt from a local retail store. I knew they never did any of this because they couldn't actually afford the items, but only because they wanted the thrill of theft and opportunity to brag about being a badass, so to speak. According to strain theory, my friends should have implemented the conformity response and bought the items, but instead they implemented the innovation response and stole them. This ends up being the biggest caveat for strain theory. It assumes that the only people who commit crimes are people who truly feel the societal strain to do so, while, in reality, people who don't experience societal strain commit crimes as well.